Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Boland. Thank you all for joining me. Walt Disney has struck again. Well, rather, maybe I shouldn't say Walt Disney has struck again. Maybe I should say woke Walt Disney has struck again. And what I'm talking about is an article I'm about to read about a white sign language interpreter for Broadway's The Lion King stated that basically he was let go or told to leave because there weren't enough black sign language interpreters. You heard that right. There weren't enough black sign language interpreters, so he was asked to leave. Now, I'm not going to even go into the details about what I really want to say right there. We're going to get into this article. Then I'm going to give you my opinion on this. This racism stuff, man, is just crazy. Who's really being racist here, you know? Who's really being racist? Okay, let's get into this. A sign language interpreter for Disney's The Lion King on Broadway has alleged he was recently fired for being white, saying he and another white interpreter were told to leave so they could be replaced with black signers. Keith Wan has filed a federal discrimination lawsuit against the Theater Development Fund, the New York nonprofit organization that supplies sign language interpreters to Broadway shows, according to a New York Post report. This gets juicy now. To me, just seeing that discrimination, it doesn't matter if I'm white or black, Wan told the newspaper. This is blatant, and I would just hope that other people who have also experienced this would step forward, Now, what's crazy about this is because I know what some people might be thinking that's reading this. They may be thinking, well, white people did this to black people many, many decades ago. They discriminated against them based on their race. You just suffering the consequences of that. Is that really what that is? The two wrongs make a right? You're not doing black people and me as a black person any favors by discriminating against other people because of their race. But let's go on. Vaughn alleges TDF's director of its accessibility programs, Lisa Carling, told him and interpreter Christina Marshley to, quote, back out of the show so they could be replaced by black sign language experts, according to the suit and emails obtained by the Post. Juan reportedly started at the Lion King in March, but received an email just days later from Carling asking him and Mosler to back out of the show due to, quote, the current social climate. So if this is the reasoning why because of the current social climate, what kind of pressure is you getting? Really? What kind of outside pressure is this individual getting, these managers getting, to say it's due to this current social climate? Have people been protesting? Have you fallen for that? Sickening. With great embarrassment and apologies, I'm asking you both to please back out of interpreting the show for us on Sunday, April 24th, Carling wrote. I don't see any other way out of this. It seems like the best solution. Carling's decision was allegedly ordered by Shelley Guy, the director of ASL for The Lion King, who called for Carling to get rid of all non-black interpreters, according to another email obtained by the Post and cited in the suit. Guy reportedly said that the interpreter, quote, is not a black person and therefore should not be representing Lion King. Was Lion King black? You know, I don't know. I didn't see the stage show. This is Broadway. But in the cartoon, which is one of my favorite Disney cartoons, was the voiceover a black person? I have no idea. But does it matter? I mean, Steven Spielberg, he was black. I mean, he was white, right? And he directed The Color Purple back in 1985. One of my favorite movies, and every time I watch that movie, it makes me cry. But I'm not going to go into the detail. I'm going to get into the detail in my commentary. Let's go on, because I do have something to say about this. Wayne said he has interpreted for a diverse group of characters, including those played by black actors throughout his decades-long career. I lost sleep over it, he said, he told the Post. Wrong is wrong. That's the end of that article there. That's just terrible. That's just terrible the way I see it. But let me say this, and I'm going back on what I said earlier. I don't believe at all black people need the favor of what I believe to be Marxists in the entertainment industry. These are Marxists or Marxist communist sympathizers who are purposely causing division. I don't believe at all that you're helping black people. Now, as I said earlier, someone may look at this and say, okay, whites were doing this back in the days, okay, and to black people, discriminating against them in jobs and all types of different, in sports and all kinds of different things. And so they're just suffering, white people today are just suffering the consequences of what whites did back then. So we're going to do what they did back then. What sense does that make? You're going to penalize white people today who may not have any kind of affiliation with these kind of white people back then. You're going to penalize them to white people today for something that white people did decades ago in the Deep South for the most part? Is that what you're going to do? Is that your justification? Is that social justice? You don't bring equality and opportunity to a particular group of people by discriminating against another group. You simply provide availability. Now, looking at these sign language interpreters, the question I asked myself when I was reading this article is, how many black sign language interpreters are there compared to white sign language interpreters? I'm going to make the assessment. Now, I know somebody's going to get on me in this kind of comment section. You need to do your research. But I don't want to, I'm just making a guess here. I'm making a guess here because in my mind, I'm kind of rolling over in my mind that I'm pretty sure there aren't that many black sign language interpreters compared to white sign language interpreters. Why I might be saying that? Because how many blacks want to be sign language interpreters? I mean, how many? You know, if you compare the groups, you compare the white population in America to the black population in America. Whites make up over 60%. Blacks, 13%. So there's 360 million people at least in America. Whites make up 60%, which may be in along the line of about 180 million. Blacks make up 13%, which may be anywhere in the long line of 40 to 42 million. So you compare the numbers. Now, out of that 40 to 42 million blacks, how many do you think want to be sign language interpreters? Out of the 180 million whites, how many do you think want to be sign language interpreters? If only 40 million whites in 180 million want to be sign language interpreters, that's more than the 40 to 42 million, or just equal to the 40 million to maybe 42 million, give or take a few, of the blacks, of the whole black population in the country. It's what people want, not what not what these social justice warriors want to make happen. You can't make black people, black sign language people come on. You can't do that. You can't do it because it doesn't make sense. You're going to empty those who've been doing this sign language for decades. You're going to empty them out, get rid of them, and say, okay, come on, black sign language interpreters. First of all, who even requested that? As I said earlier, was someone protesting? Was there some kind of protest? Was there some kind of activists out there saying we need more black sign language interpreters? Or was this just in your messed up mind? Or the person that said this, was this just a Marxist who had infiltrated this particular industry in Disney and infiltrated Broadway and now up here talking stupid stuff, keeping the division going? You're not bringing justice to us, dog. You're not. Shut up. Sit down. I'm getting sick of these people, man. You can't fight racism with racism. It makes no sense. How you fight it is you give equal opportunity, which every black in this country at this point has equal opportunity to be anything you want to be: a doctor, a lawyer, the president, a senator, a state governor, whatever you want to be. but a significant number of the 40 to 42 million black people in America, for the most part, the significant number of them don't want to be doctors, don't want to be lawyers, don't want to be anything of that nature, unfortunately. Statistics say they'd rather be rappers and sports figures. Nothing wrong with that in and of itself, but come on. Is that all we capable of doing is rapping? Is that all we capable of doing is throwing a ball through the hoop? You know what I'm saying? Is that all we capable of doing is bashing each other's head in through boxing? I love the sports. It's cool. But are we going to limit ourselves to just those aspects? Can't we go back to the olden days of the early 1900s when blacks were lawyers and entrepreneurs and doctors and engineers? Yeah? Can we go back to that time? We were once that way. Or at least our ancestors were. They were once that way. What happened? Let me tell you this. If blacks want to compete on an even level, then you got to aspire to the areas and professions that call for a lot of intellectual stimulation, that call for a lot of opening up them books and digging in. That's what you're gonna have to do, because that's where most of the money is made, at least on a professional, on a academic level. Now, of course, sports, you're gonna make a lot more money in there because, it's entertainment. Sports, so like, okay, but is that the reason why a lot of blacks want to do that? Is it all about money? I hear them say I love the game, but is that really, is that really it? I'm just saying, you can't fight racism with racism. And to me, if this is accurate, and if this man's accusation is true, it's stupid, dumb, and ignorant for them to do that. It's stupid, dumb, and ignorant, is racist. You don't fight racism with racism. All you're doing is causing more division, like the Marxists have been doing for decades in this country. And if people don't wake up, they're going to keep doing it. So I just wanted to say that on it. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. God bless you all, and see you again.